So, murder. Okay, that laugh was... We're gonna move on. So, welcome to Musical Mashup, the series where I shove a bunch of musicals into one teeny little space where they probably shouldn't all be together and talk about them. I don't know if this will actually be a series. This is probably my first channel video because I want to get something out there. Gosh diggity dang it. So today we're going to talk about killing people and who's best at it out of these 4 brave contestants that we have on the screen right here that I'm speed painting. So, we have Eric, better known as Phantom of the Opera. We have Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. And after that, we have JD, our favorite sociopathic high schooler from Heathers, and we have Sweeney Todd from Sweeney Todd. 2 out of 4 title characters. Let's go. So, beware of spoilers for all 4 of these musicals because we are going to get down and dirty, and I regret my phrasing on that. But we're going to get into the nitty-gritty to decide who is the most sociopathic, homeopathic, that's not the word I'm looking for, psychopathic of them all. So, first thing I want to point out is that none of these guys are Broadway originals, because they're all originally hailing from some third-party movie or book or something. So, Eric, Phantom, and Sweeney Todd are both from pretty short classic ? Books, which I can read in an afternoon, so maybe you can read them in a day. Shoot. I have a fast reading speed. I'm sorry. I need to work on this. Anyway, JD and Beetlejuice had their debut in the 80s as 80s horror comedy films. So they got that in common. So let's talk about these guys' levels of evilness. Most of their guys... Why can't I speak? Most of these guys' evilness kind of varies from source to source. But this is a musical mashup, so we're going to specifically be talking about the musical evilness. How evil are they in the musical? Alright, so let's just, as a recap, sum up the plot for each of these fine gentlemen, shall we? Now let's go. Number 1, Eric, Phantom of the Opera, once a lonely boy driven from society because of his deformed face. Eric shares a backstory with the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but instead of becoming a sweetheart set on helping others, he becomes a homicidal menace to the theater he runs, all in hopes of wooing the lovely Christine Daae. Which would be cute, except at this point Christine is a teenager and the Phantom is like 40, so... He and Beetlejuice can swap notes on that. Creepy old guy, creepy old guy. Okay, let's move on. Speaking of Beetlejuice, say it once, say it twice, say it 3 times. This dude, affectionately known as BJ by some people, this self-proclaimed ghost with the most, owns not 1, not 2, but 3 franchises: cartoon, movie, and musical, each with their own special cult following. I'm in all of them. His story depends wildly on which version you're watching, but in the recent Broadway hit, he's a wandering spirit of chaos who just really wants a friend. #relatable content. So to get that, he convinces Lydia, who's a spunky 15-year-old girl, to summon him and be his BFFFF forever. But when she wants out of that little arrangement, he threatens to murder her friends and family, unless she marries him. So he can be human, but come on, PJ. Come on. Then there's Jason Dean, or JD for short, a Baudelaire-quoting badass who woos Heather's protagonist Veronica with his anti-establishment attitude. That relationship goes south fast after he tricks her into murdering not 1, not 2, but 3, I need to stop saying this, of her horrible high school classmates. These guys really have a thing with 3s, don't they? It's almost like it's a common literary technique. Moving on. Can such a rocky relationship ever be salvaged? Well, JD sure does try, but I guess you could say it kinda blew up in his face. I'm so sorry. And finally, we got our classic murder-cannibal combo, Sweeney Todd. This wrongfully imprisoned barber seeks revenge on the evil judge who shipped him off to Australia just to get it on with his wife. Not the judge's wife, Sweeney's wife. That would be a really normal weird plot if it was the judge's wife. Anyway, this is definitely the darkest story out of the 3 of them. So, swearing revenge, Sweeney Todd teams up with the love-struck and equally homicidal baker, Mrs. Lovett. But with his skills in a barbershop and her world-famous meat pies, they bring her business a cut above the rest of London's cutthroat competition. Introductions are over, let's move on. So, who really is the most homicidal? Well, let's look at the facts. So, either Eric or Sweeney holds the record for the most canon kills. Beetlejuice and JD may have killed more people than we currently know of, so it's hard to say who actually killed the most, although Eric and Sweeney are definitely the top 2 contenders. But what about Beetlejuice, I hear you all saying, those of you who are more familiar with the movie than anything else, because it's the oldest and has the biggest following? But probably most of you who are watching this video came for the musical because that's who the art is of. Moving on. Movie Beetlejuice does kill 2 people on screen, and it's likely he killed many, many more. But Musical BJ's kill count is actually kinda, it's one. He kills one person, maybe. We see that he rolls Otho off stage on this wheel of death or something, and we kind of assume he dies, but we don't know that, so his kill count could be 0. And for those of you who have only listened to the Beetlejuice soundtrack, kind of sounds like he might have killed Skye the Girl Scout by triggering her arrhythmia by, scaring her a lot, but I'm sad to report that she does in fact live, so she's not even a death. There's a point even in the staging of that beautiful sound where someone, I think the old lady neighbor, seems to have a heart attack and falls to the ground, but she also gets back up and leaves. So the moral here is Beetlejuice kind of sucks at killing people. I'm sorry, you are the weakest homicidal maniac. Goodbye. I feel like I'm baiting him. Don't hurt me. BJ, don't hurt me. Moving on. Actually, though, I have to say, Musical BJ is kind of a sweetheart. He's a manic sweetheart who kisses people without their permission and tries to marry a 15-year-old, but, he's whatever. Alright, so we've identified that Phantom and Sweeney Todd are our most violent contenders, but can JD hold his own against them? He's got 3 on-stage kills, and threatens to take out countless others with a plot to blow up the school, which, if successful, would put him on par with Phantom for taking out a building of people. But while the Phantom does bring down the chandelier on the Paris Opera, JD's plan to blow up Westerberg, geez, I don't even know my musicals. His plan to blow up Westerberg High fails, and this is in part because Veronica intervenes, but don't forget JD himself takes the bomb from her after she drags it out to the school football field and he chooses to detonate himself rather than run backwards towards the school. I'm starting to realize how dark my taste in musicals is. I should have already known that. Anyway, while JD certainly has no qualms about getting his hands dirty, he is motivated by a sense of justice. He wants to protect Veronica from her bullies and get rid of evil people who fill the world, okay? And in his mind, it's pretty much everyone, which is kind of like a certain barber I know. So, JD and Sweeney Todd, right? They're both motivated by justice, right? But the difference is that JD has a proactive form of justice which takes out people before they cause more harm, while Sweeney Todd is a retroactive justice that aims to take people out because they're inherently sinful and deserve to die just because they exist. I'm sorry. I need a water break. Anyway, this is mostly because JD, being younger and more idealistic than Sweeney, has seen less of the terrors of humanity, and even though he's seen quite a few already, he's not, on Sweeney's level of seeing god-awful things. Plus, most importantly, his love interest Veronica is still very much alive. We'll get back to that in a moment. Sweeney's wife, he thinks she's dead. And that makes things a lot harder, and she's turned out to be very dead after he kills her, accidentally, but still. Cheery stuff anyway. So what about Eric, the Phantom? Well, he has a grim view of humanity because everyone treated him terribly as a child, mocking him for his disformed face and shunning him from society, but unlike Sweeney Todd or JD, he doesn't really seem to care about having a reason behind every kill he does. He kind of kills based off of, oh, you didn't do what I said, and that guy was there, and I needed to hang someone to make a point, so I did. So, he does get some really serious psychopathic points for that, alright? So among these 3, I'm gonna have to drop JD simply because he has less of a kill count, so sorry man, I know you're only in high school, but these guys are in their 40s, but tough market out there. Anyway, we're down to the classic Sweeney Todd and the Phantom. Both of them kill potentially hundreds of people, and both of them kill pretty indiscriminately, so how should I choose? Which is the best murderer, the most gruesome, the most psychopathic, the most effective? Well, okay, remember what I said about the difference between JD's motivations and Sweeney Todd's motivations. It's kind of similar here. See, Phantom isn't nearly as idealistic as JD, but his love interest, the teenage Christine, it's very creepy, she's very much alive and well. And again, Sweeney Todd's wife, Lucy, is not either of those things. So as it turns out, it kind of puts a damper on bloodthirsty activities if you're actively trying to woo a relatively pure, innocent person. So to bring it back to the Beetlejuice verse for a second, ignore the wooing. We're gonna pretend woo means make good friends because I like this character and I want to keep liking him. Beetlejuice's homicidal tendencies kind of directly correlate to how strong his friendship with Lydia is in any given Beetlejuice universe. So in the movie, Beetlejuice and Lydia have no real relationship, it's just contractual. And in the cartoon, they've been friends for ever. And you might notice in the movie, that's where he kills people. In the cartoon, he's just a nice question mark, quote unquote. He's nice. He likes to think he's not, but he's nice. And in the musical's kind of somewhere in between. So, as it turns out, most nice, good people don't really like murder, and that discourages people going after them from really going hardcore with the murdering. So, lesson here is don't date someone who holds you back from your goals, you know? I know it's like hard to hear, but you know, it'll be worth it in the end. Trust me. Anyway, back to Murder. Right. So in the end, the Phantom really just wants Christine to love him, and as creepy as that is, it means his final goal isn't murder. And Sweeney's is. Sweeney wants to murder the judge who murdered his wife. This is starting to sound like a really screwed up nursery rhyme. It's kind of like there was an old lady who swallowed a fly, but it's like murder. Like, there was an old judge who murdered a girl. I need to stop. Anyway, after Christine agrees to love the Phantom, he kind of breaks down. And even though Christine did it very clearly in order to save her boyfriend-ish Raoul from being killed, the Phantom still, the idea that she could love him even under duress is enough to cause him to have this whole villainous breakdown, and then he lets her go. So he really kind of loses some psychopathy points for that. You know, it's, in the end, he has a heart, you know, he has emotions, and that's just not what I'm looking for in my cold-hearted murderers. So, Phantom, I'm afraid you are not our leading man tonight. Please, don't strangle me in my sleep. That's all I ask of you. Well, I would ask quite a bit of you. Anyway, moving on. That leaves us with our... my voice. That leaves us with our grand winner for tonight, Sweeney Todd. Congratulations, sir. You are the most murderous son of a biscuit that I have ever had the pleasure of seeing on stage. On YouTube. I have not seen this musical live. I have at high school, actually. Not the same as Broadway, but still pretty neat. Pretty neat. Anyway, I would like to take a moment to appreciate that I got through all of this, getting Sweeney Todd to top dog of murdering without even bringing up the fact that he kills and eats people, which should maybe bump him up to the top immediately, but that's like too easy of an argument. Like, come on. Come on. Like, anyone can kill and eat a person, but like, do you have the heart, you know? Are you into it? That's not how I meant to phrase that. What I meant to say was, do you have the guts? What was that? I need to stop. That's about all I have for today. One thing I want to point out, because I thought it might bother some people. You see in this painting how Beetlejuice's shirt is like a maroony purple and not like that stripedy white-black zebra stripe thing it is in the musical stage version? It's like, Ash, this is musical Beetlejuice. Why does he have cartoon Beetlejuice's shirt? Well, have you tried to draw musical Beetlejuice's shirt? It's terrible. It's kind of a hell of its own, which I guess is appropriate. Also, I just like the color variation. Sue me. Don't. I'm poor. That is all. Anyway, who do you think is the most murderous of these four guys? I would really like to know. Do you agree that it's Sweeney Todd? Do you think it should be someone else? Do you agree with the way I judged it, or should I have judged it on maybe like, would they kill you if you were standing next to them? I mean, Sweeney Todd, it really just depends whether or not you have a beard and if you're gonna pay him. Dang, he was getting paid to kill people. That's a good racket he's got going on. That was a really good racket. Dang. Anyway, sorry. I'm going to stop thinking about Sweeney Todd's entrepreneurial spirit. Well, a lot of it was Mrs. Lovett's fault. She's good. She's good. You want her on your side if you're trying to run an entrepreneurial murder business. Should look into that. Here, entrepreneurship is all the rage these days. Anyway, if you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment if you haven't already. Tell me your thoughts. It really encourages me, it means a lot to me, and helps me figure out content I should plan for the future, even though this is only the first video, and I'm addicted to planning, and my follow-through is less than subpar, so let this be different, please. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want, or don't, you do you. Help me. Stay cool, creatives. I'll see you in the comments. Goodbye.